been watching my channel for a while, you'd know that I love to learn. I am extremely curious. There are so many things I'd like to learn, from psychology, philosophy, history to biology, business, or languages. I want to learn to draw, I want to learn about marketing strategies, and I want to learn a new language. During the past 4 years, I have taught myself all sorts of things. I even taught myself the skills required for my first job. And I am constantly self-educating myself, especially now that I have a YouTube channel. But to be honest with you, it's not always easy or for free. You have to find the right resources, create a curriculum, make a study schedule, and know what to study and when to review. And these are things I struggled with in the past, and that made the friction of starting to learn a bit high. Until a few months ago, a tool you all know by now changed the game of learning for me and any self-learner, and that is ChatGPT. It was like a gift from God to help us learn anything we want in a shorter time. In the past couple of months, I have made more progress in my learning journey than ever before while being efficient and productive. ChatGPT has been really helpful in accelerating my learning curve without me burning out. So in this video, I'll show you how you can use AI to learn any skill or subject you want, plus give you examples of prompts you can use on ChatGPT for better and more specific answers. To start off, the number one tip that will help you increase considerably your learning efficiency and progress is the Pareto Principle. In case you've never heard of it, the Pareto Principle states that for many outcomes, roughly 80% of the consequences come from 20% of the causes. And that is one of the best productivity hacks when it comes to learning anything new, which is to focus on the high-yield topics, those 20% that make 80% of the results and applications. But trying to figure out the 20% in a new field of study can be tricky and time-consuming, but that's where ChatGPT can help. Let's say you want to learn how to code in C#. You can ask ChatGPT to give you the 20% topics you should focus on that are responsible for 80% of the practical applications of the language. So basically, you can say something like, I want to learn how to code in C#. Can you create a focused learning plan on the above topic using the Pareto Principle? Focus on the high-yield elements of the topic that are used in 80% of the applications. More focus on active methods of learning over passive, as it is always better to learn by doing than just observing or reading. And just like that, AI gives you all the topics you should focus on to learn C# faster. Before we continue, I just want to say, if you are enjoying the video so far, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel for more educational content. Now that you know what to learn, you'd want to know resources where you can find information about these topics. You can ask ChatGPT to give you a list of resources to learn any specific topic from the previous list, and you can specify if you want a free or paid resources. You can also ask for active learning by projects, for example, rather than just a lecture. And to help you decide which resource to use, you can ask it to summarize articles, videos, or even courses in 1 or 2 sentences. Just copy-paste the link to the article or video and ask GPT to summarize the whole thing in 1 sentence. And in seconds, you'll have an idea of what the article is about, and you can decide later to go through it or not. Now that we know what to study and which resources to use, we need a plan of action to achieve our goal. Instead of spending hours trying to create a study plan, you can make ChatGPT organize a study schedule for you. You can ask it, for example, you make a list of the topics you want to learn. Let's say you want to study maths, so the topics might be trigonometric functions, algebraic modeling, and complex number, and you can ask it to create a study schedule for all the above in 4 weeks before your exam on the 5th of July, and you can specify when can you study. For example, I can study for 3 hours per day, except on Fridays. On Saturdays, I come back from school at 5 p.m. and have no school on weekdays. Please include time for review and testing. And voila, you have your study schedule day by day until the day of your exam. All you have to do is start learning. Another area ChatGPT can help is if you struggle with memorizing or understanding something. And this is my favorite part. You can ask ChatGPT to make a visualization story to explain a concept, or to write a catchy song or poem about it. You can ask it to explain it with jokes or the way your favorite celebrity would do to help you understand it better and remember. You can ask it, act like Ye and explain the concept of quantum mechanics for me. This is super powerful. I read the answer and it really breaks down the topic into simple words, plus it gives you the most important topics you need to know about it, especially for a complicated subject like quantum mechanics. I have taken quantum physics classes at university, and this would have saved me hours of research and study, because when you first discover quantum physics, it's not really easy to understand the concept. Another cool technique that helps with learning and that can be used with ChatGPT is the Feynmann Technique, which can be broken into 4 steps. Number 1, select a concept to learn. Number 2, teach it to a child. Number 3, review and refine your understanding. And number 4, organize your notes and revisit them regularly. We'll be focusing on step number 2. So if a topic is too complicated, you can ask ChatGPT to explain it for a 5-year-old child. For example, explain the French Revolution to a 5-year-old child. You can also use this prompt to explain what is going on in the world. For example, explain the situation in Sudan to a 5-year-old child. It's also a nice way to stay up to date with the news in a positive way without consuming the depressing press news. And finally, now that you improved your understanding and memory on the topic of your study, you'd want to test yourself or practice what you learned. I encourage you to do this throughout your studying period and not leave it to the end. For example, whenever you go through a lesson or a section of your study program, you can ask ChatGPT to test you on it. You can copy and paste the lesson into the chat and ask it to create practice questions. Ask it to correct you only after you finish the whole test. Another thing ChatGPT can help you with is practicing languages. For instance, I have been learning Spanish for a while now. Unfortunately, I don't know many Spanish speakers here in Paris, so I can't practice it that much. Well, luckily for me, ChatGPT is multilingual and can help me practice Spanish or any language I want at any level. For example, you can ask it, could you please help me practice a day-to-day conversation in Spanish where we talk to each other? Imagine we are friends meeting for coffee. You will start the conversation and wait for me to respond. Please correct any mistakes I make and translate each response to English. You can keep the conversation going until you feel satisfied you learned new words or anything useful. There you go. Those were my tips to learn anything with ChatGPT. And please be responsible with AI. Don't directly copy-paste an answer from AI, especially if you are at school, because that counts for plagiarism and might get you suspended. Use the answers as an inspiration or a starting point, then build on it. Also remember to check every fact, because AI is not perfect and makes mistakes more often than you think. You can always correct it if you find a mistake. That way it gets better for everyone. That's all from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe for more educational content, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Bye!